Back when I was young, you wouldn't pay me enough to even think I'd want to fight.
Oh, another knockdown!
I don't really care about belt. I really just want to be the best.
Israel! The Last Stylebender!
I always thought, man, that shit. Part of why I fight definitely is to prove to myself that I'm stronger and I'm smarter and I'm braver than I am. Because back then, like when I used to get bullied, I'd be shaking, my knees would be shaking, my body would be shaking, and oh, look at him, he's shaking, oh, he's scared. That's the narrative back then. But like now as I'm older, I realize it's just your body preparing for war. It's adrenaline surging through my adolescent body, and I didn't know what to do with it. I'm just like, you know, it's just, and it's there, and you're shaking, you don't know, I don't know how to respond. Like one of the worst ones I remember was in high school actually, when, this is gross. There's a blocked urinal, right? And I don't know, I'm still taking a piss. And these two guys kind of flanked me. I remember their names as well, but I won't give them no credit. They flanked me and then try to like, honestly, I didn't realize how strong I was. I was a scrawny little kid and these two big boys trying to dunk me in the urinal. And I remember my strength, my frames were so strong. I was, like, you know when they say mothers can lift up cars? Yeah, that shit's real. Like, cause these guys, they like rugby players for the school. They should have dunked me easily, but my frames were so strong, they would not get me. And yeah, that was one of my last times where I felt like, nah, enough is enough. And I'm sick of this shit. But now as an adult, those same feelings still arise. Like I get the butterflies when I get that feel. I don't shake that much anymore. I know how to control it now. And it's not like controlling because I'm scared, it's controlling my adrenaline, controlling my flow. Because I know a lot of fighters, even at the highest level in the UFC, a few fighters who won't sleep the night before a fight or 2 days before a fight because they just, in their own head, they don't know how to control their own mind, they don't know how to control their own body. So for me, I know when to, I've done this for so long, man, my body just knows conflict now, so I'm like, all right. And when I'm backstage, when I start to get my hands wrapped and I can feel the nerves come through, I just breathe it away. Control it like a flame. You fan it properly. If you don't fan it properly to a way where it'll help you, it can be useful. If not, a lot of people just, like when I was a kid, I just let it burn through me and I'm just like, I don't know, what am I gonna do with all this chakra, you know? But like I said, I still get that now, but it's different. So yeah, there would be awakening moments that made me kind of feel like, you know, you're not as weak as I am. Or I'm not as weak as I am. I thought I was, or I was made to believe I was.
He has taken this sport by storm.
Undisputed UFC
Israel Adesanya!
Adesanya!
Growing up in Nigeria was, for me, a blessing, you know? And I feel everyone should, no matter where they come from. As an adult now, I realize how good I had it back home, because the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and people, you know, as a young person or a small boy, you kind of think, if I go over there, it'd be awesome, it'd be cool. But now as an adult, I'm like, man, I'm trying to go back home now. It was beautiful. It was beautiful growing up in Nigeria, and corrupt, definitely, you know, like anywhere else. But it's just more, when you have 180 million people and counting, it's you find, you know, a lot of bad eggs or bad apples. But yeah, we had it good growing up. I never really had to struggle, really. I was kind of spoiled, to be honest, because my father was very well off. My mom, they had a lot of businesses. They, you know, worked for some big companies. And yeah, I didn't even know how to bathe for myself till I was about 8 or 7 or something, because we had housemaids, you know, cooking for us, bathing us. And it wasn't until like, I think maybe 8 years old, I realized this wasn't like every kid that had that. So I was like, nah, I can do it myself now. Yeah, I had a good growing up. Lovely family, lovely parents, you know. Then we moved to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Which I still had it good anyway, but still, going to New Zealand. So moving over here at the age of maybe going into 11, because I had my 10th birthday back home. That was my last birthday I can remember having home. And I'm moving to New Zealand. It was culture shock, definitely, because everything looked like how things look on TV, like in a movie. You know, you see houses with chimneys, like things like that. I was like, yeah, that's what Santa Claus goes down, you know. And this is me as a 10-year-old kid, so you gotta put that into perspective. Not that I believed in Santa Claus, but I just knew like the correlation. I thought Coke belonged to Nigeria, like Coca-Cola, till I saw it everywhere else, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a worldwide product. Like that's how I felt, because it was, you know, like I just thought this is my world. Culture shock mostly was realizing that being black was a problem, you know, especially in a small town. I was like, what? Like, why? Like, you know, people would just try and be mean to you for no reason. And I was like, because it happened in school back home as well, but it wasn't because of my skin color. That was a new one for me. So I was like, oh, okay, this is a problem. I don't get it. And I think we talked about this. One of my earliest encounters with that was, remember in school, this kid was just giving me shit the whole time, the whole week. And during the weekend, he rode by my house because he wasn't far off, like a few streets down. And she yelled, go back to your country, blackanese. And did it like 2 or 3 times. And I remember thinking at that age, like, have I done something to this kid? Like, did I say something to him? Like, because I couldn't really fathom, like, why would he even just spend effort on the weekend riding by my house when he could do anything else and just talk shit to me? Like, that was his fun on the weekend for a little bit. So yeah, for me it was weird. And then I remember that Monday, the next week at school, so there was K block, this is Rotor Intermediate, K block, and I think B block or J block or something. And this was after interval. He kind of walked up to me. It was shorter than me as well, and I was a small kid, but it was like a Napoleon syndrome or whatever. He just came up to me and like, what a black boy, and just pushed me. And I might have been having a bad day, and I remember I just lost it and I snapped. And I threw him towards K block, and I just wailed on him, and I was crying the whole time. And I threw him towards B block, and I just wailed on him till he kind of just like squatted down and just, I remember just wailing on him, and I just broke away, and everyone was like, oh, bro, he's tough ass, this and that. And I was like, leave me alone. And I just ran away and went to go hide for like 30 minutes or so till the teacher found me. And that's kind of, I guess, my desire to want to defend myself came from, was I hated feeling vulnerable in any situation, and I hated feeling like I was helpless, like I couldn't do anything. At UFC 90, I watched Silva fight Patrick Cote, and I felt like, man, you know, if he can do this, because that was the first time I watched him fight live, but before that it was all DVDs. So I felt like if he could do that to Patrick Cote, for whatever reason, I just felt like I could, I think it was fight number 4, I felt like I could be the best in the world. From fight number 4, I just knew, I was like, you know what, if I really wanted to do this, I'd be the best at this. And I didn't know if it was true. Quote from Ali makes sense to me now, like, I'm the greatest. I said it before I knew I was. And I was saying it way back then, but didn't care if people believe me or not. I just said it because it made me feel great. It's all about how you see yourself, what anyone else thinks. And that was maybe when I first started fighting, was 2008. That year was 2008.
The Last Stylebender has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long time coming. Israel Adesanya, welcome to the big show. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a long time, definitely. You know, I tried for years, but I had some other things to do. But now Styles is in the UFC, baby. Yeah. I just want to say something to the UFC fighters, the personnel and personnel backstage, to the downwards and upwards. I see you guys creeping on my Instagram. Don't think I don't see you. You're watching me, and I've been watching you. But then when you run up on me, you act like you don't know me. Boy, you know who I am now.
I'm the new dog in the yard, and I just pissed all over the place. Yeah, now, as a new avatar in the world, so I'm that guy now. I'm gonna make my run.
Now I gotta ask, is it the Last Stylebender or the Stylebender?
Stylebender, but you can just call me Styles for short. It's a mouthful, but I coined the name from a TV series called The Avatar, and yeah, it's a mouthful, so just call me Styles.
Did you give yourself the nickname, or did somebody give you that nickname?
Nah, fuck that. I gave myself the nickname. Yeah, I mean, people say, you know, oh, you can't give yourself a nickname, but I was like, why? You know, I make my own destiny. I don't want my destiny to be in someone else's hands, so it made sense to me, because Aang, the Avatar, had to realize his potential of being the Avatar by mastering all elements, which is water, fire, earth, and air. And I have to realize my destiny as just mastering all the elements of martial arts to be here.
You have crazy, crazy highlight reel knockouts. People are already comparing you to guys like, say, a young John Jones, an Anderson Silva, a Michael Venom Page. Do you like those comparisons? Do you think they're accurate in any way? And I guess, does it put any pressure on you coming in?
Nah, like I feel like it takes. Don't insult them, don't insult me by comparing us. I know what they're trying to do, what they're trying to say, but we're different people, like a lot of us. I mean, I watched Anderson Silva at UFC 90. I think that was my first pay-per-view I watched of him. But before that, I watched some DVDs. But then UFC 90, I watched him live fight Patrick Cote. And then he used, probably in the first round, like 10 different styles. And then the second round used telekinesis to dismantle his knee. And then I was like, who's this skinny black guy? Because like in my head, I kind of assumed like you had to be this buff. Everyone has this perception like you got to be this Arnold Schwarzenegger looking type dude to fight. But then this skinny black guy comes in there and just runs through everyone. And that inspired me. You know, I looked up to Anderson, still do, for years.
UFC 90. I still remember the DVDs, bro. I've been watching you for a long time. No, always, never. And everything. I know. This game already finished.
I'm not him. Definitely not. You're dealing with a different beast. You know, I'm a new age, new breed. I've got a different mindset as well. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, people will find out later on, like, oh, this. And I learned a lot from those guys, John Jones, you know, Conor McGregor, Ali, everyone from every walk of life. But when you see me in that cage, you'll see that I'm a different breed. Before that, I've been watching like UFC DVDs, and I've been watching The Ultimate Fighter since 2005. It kind of reminded me of dancing a little bit, because that's how I got a lot of my street cred growing up. I was really good at dancing. Dancing just came sort of naturally. I just like, you know, you hear music, you want to move, you have to feel it, and it's just something, either you have it or you don't. And I had it, but then definitely plays into my martial arts incredibly. And I think on my birthday last year, I kind of went through a metamorphosis, and like my dancer's block kind of got eradicated, so I was able to create again. And it really translates to fighting due to muscle memory. Like when you have to learn sets, and you have to learn maybe 20 sets for a show, which I don't do. Like there's dancers who do like 30 sets for a show, and they have to learn, their muscle memory gets adapted to it, so it translates to fighting and to drills. So when you learn a drill, I can pick it up like that, like it's nothing, and then just replicate it over and over again. So yeah, it works hand in hand. And I like to make the crowd wow at like ooh and ah at what I'm doing. So when I was fighting, I kind of got that similar feeling. So I think since then I've just been chasing that dragon, and yeah, I don't know if I still chase it. Like now sometimes they boo, and I've been in China, they don't really boo as much over there, but they're silent. Like when you knock someone out, they're silent. But I still take energy from that. Silence speaks volumes, you know, because I'm just like, ooh, a big stadium, and I drop one of their guys, and it's just, you might hear like, ah, for Blood Diamond or something, but that's it. It's all energy at the end of the day, so I still love that feeling, you know. Examples like after Melbourne, you know, I was talking, and I just heard boo, and I'm like, shut the up. Like I'm not trying to pander to anyone. I'm not trying to make anyone my friends or be the, hey guys, like me. I don't care, honestly. Even when I walk out, I'm focused on me and my team at the back. I don't care about anyone, because they're fickle. At the end of the day, they're fickle. If I got dropped by Silva, guess what? Oh, he was all hype. Oh, we knew it all along. It took 5 fights, but we knew it, you know? So I don't pay attention to what anyone else says. I just focus on what I want to do. You know, I don't give a fuck about the title. I want to be a legend in this game. The belt's just like another trinket I collect along the way, you know? Yeah, so the belt, it looks good on black skin anyway, so I like gold like that. It shines, it illuminates on black skin. So the belt will come, but it's not the end goal, because a lot of guys like, I want to get that belt, I'm going to be the champion, you know, and they get the belt, and the next fight they lose the belt, because that was the pinnacle. I was like, oh, that was it. I'm just trying to fuck everyone up in my era, in my weight class. So when it's all said and done, be like, you know, Israel was the guy. He was smoking everyone, you know. I don't really care about belt. I really just want to be the best. I just want to fight everyone and keep getting paid. The belt just looks good, and it's good promotion and all that shit. And I like the belt, don't get me wrong, but it's not the main focus. Yeah, I feel that way, but I'm the best fighter. I want to prove I'm the best fighter. Like, you know, my ego, like I've told maybe some of you reporters, I said my ego was what drove me here, because I knew I'm the best striker in the world, but I've seen too many street fights, too many situations end up on the ground, like 80% of street fights. And I always feel, I never want to feel vulnerable in any situation. I never want to feel like another guy can have me do work, you know? So I had to take time, learn the craft of MMA, grappling, immerse myself in it. And that's all behind the scenes. So everyone that's picking against me, I can understand, you know? I forgive you, because you don't know what you do, you know? But hey, this is not striking, this is not jiu-jitsu, this is not boxing, this is MMA, the UFC. I think this is the pinnacle of combat sports. So if you want to prove not just the best boxer, not the best kickboxer, the best jiu-jitsu guy, if you want to be the best fighter in the world, this is where you prove it.